everyone. Today we are really excited about potatoes. It's April 15th and here on the West Coast it's our potato planting time. So we thought it would be fun to share with you guys how we've speeded up the process of digging our potato trenches. So today we are going to plant 3 feet wide by 80 feet long beds. And it's all about having the right tool for the job. And here at Deep Roots Farms, this tool here, this Mantis tiller, has really speeded up our potato trench digging. So primarily on our farm, we are a no-till farm, but this really does the trench digging job. So when you're dealing with larger scale, it's nice to have something that speeds up the process. So this little machine here digs the furrow for us with minimal work from us. It's from Vessey's. You can order it online. It's about $750. So it takes mixed gas. And so I'm going to show you how we dig the potato furrows using the Mantis. I'm going to turn it on. And then during the process, what my job is to try to make a straight line. So I'm not going too close to the edge of my bed, giving the potatoes room to grow. And I want to leave space for my next trench. So we want to have the trenches roughly around 2 feet apart because that's what we space our potatoes at. And so I'm using the Mantis to create my line, and it's a back and forth motion. And then when I get a buildup of soil, I'm kind of flicking it over to the side, and you can see here how it ends up being mounded on both sides of the trench. So I'll show you how I dig the trench using the Mantis, and make sure you guys have ear protection to save your ears. So I'll just put that in and I'll get the Mantis going. So when it's cold, you have to open up the choke, which is here, and prime it. And then give it a pull, and as soon as it turns over, you turn off the choke. All right, so let's give it a go here. You can see how easy it is to dig the potato furrows using this Mantis. It really takes no time at all. It took me maybe about 20 minutes to do a 3 foot by 80 foot bed, whereas if I dug that by hand, that would have, who knows how long that would have taken me, but I know I would have been longer than this and I would have been a lot more tired. So the next segment of this will show you guys all about how we plant our potatoes. Hello everyone, welcome back to the second portion of our video on how to grow potatoes. So today here at Deep Roots Farm, we are going to talk about how you plant potatoes in trenches. So there's many different ways on how you can plant potatoes, but today we're going to talk about this technique. So it's a fairly easy technique, and in the previous video, we dug the trenches with our handy tool, the Mantis. So you want to try to dig your trench at least 1 foot deep, and this technique really does help with the hilling method. And as you can see here, we have our seed potatoes. So this is a seed potato, that's the Sieglindes, and this is our own seed potato grown here at Deep Roots Farm, and this is Yukon Gold. So a few weeks before you're going to plant your potatoes out, you want to chit them. And chitting means sprouting, essentially. So you're going to take your potatoes and you're going to wake them up by placing them on trays or in crates, and you're going to put them in a bright room. We put ours in our boot room, and it only has one window, so you don't want to put them in direct sunlight or direct light. It just needs to be a bright environment. And then these are called eyes. So these little indentations that you can see on the potato here, those are eyes, and that's where the potato sprouts and grows its tubers from. So you want to wake up the eyes by chitting the potatoes, and you can lay them out on lids like this or crates, or if you only have a small amount of potatoes, people actually just place them in egg cartons standing up, and that's sufficient enough. And so ideally you want to have the potato sprouts just about this tall. So they're just starting to purple, they're just about an inch. These are a little long, so they've been left for a while, but these are going to be totally fine to plant as well. So what you're going to do is you can decide, so they say that you want to have 2 to 3 eyes on your potato for sprouting. So if you have a big potato like this, people cut the potato in half, so you have 2 to 3 eyes on one half. So if you're going to cut your potato in half, it's recommended that you actually let it callus over or heal up for a few days, so you're not planting it in the soil with an open wound, which is just inviting disease and rot into the potato. So here, we're not going to cut our potatoes in half, we're just going to plant them whole, but we're going to give them adequate spacing for the amount of eyes. So if you're going to cut your potato and you're only going to have 2 to 3 eyes, then you can get away with planting them about 1 foot 12 inches apart. But because we're not cutting our potatoes, we're going to give them 2 foot spacing. So what we're going to do is, this soil previously had garlic in it last year, then it had a cover crop of buckwheat, and then it was fallow all winter. So we've just dug our trenches. We tried to get the trenches 1 foot deep, and we've actually amended the soil with this Gaia Green organic fertilizer. So you can either choose to amend your trench with aged compost, or you can do any other organic fertilizer blend that you like. It's not recommended to do, you can use manure, but it's recommended that it's really aged, because if you use manure that's not really aged, you might end up with potato scab, and nobody wants that. So what we've done this morning is we've lined the furrows with our organic fertilizer, and now we've placed our potatoes in the trenches 2 feet apart. And so today we are lucky enough to have Guy helping us plant potatoes. Woohoo! And so I didn't dig the trenches as deep as I really wanted them to. So Guy's just going ahead with the hand trowel, and he's just taking the potato, digging the hole a little deeper and placing the potato in. And so what we're going to do going behind Guy is that you take the soil, and this is why the trenching technique is so great, is because as the potato grows, all of the new potatoes end up forming on top of the seed potato. And you always want to keep your potatoes covered, because if they're exposed to sunlight, they form a concentrated patch of chlorophyll, which then creates more solanine. And solanine is quite toxic and really hard to digest. So you don't want to end up with a bunch of green potatoes. So you're always hilling your plant and always protecting your potatoes from sunlight. So what we're going to do is we're going to go behind Guy, and you're just going to take parts of the trench and you're just going to cover over the potato. You're going to cover it over with a few inches of soil. So after the potato is covered, we just had a nice rain last night, so we actually don't have to water in our potatoes. But if the soil was really dry, then we would be watering them in. So we are not going to water them in, but we're just going to cover them. And as the potato grows, after it reaches 4 to 6 inches, the foliage, then we're going to come through and we're really going to mound the soil up around the potato. Now we're going to come back and we're going to do other segments so you guys can see the potatoes growing, and we're going to do other segments on how we harvest and store our potatoes. So stay tuned for that. But after they're hilled and when there's no more soil to hill, then we're actually going to do a layer of straw. And if you have any composted or broken down hay, you can use that. You can use leaf mulch. You can use dried out grass clippings. But for us this year, we're going to use straw. And so the final layer is a really nice mound of straw around your potato plant, really protecting those top tubers from the sunlight. And you want to make sure that you practice good crop rotation. So you don't want to, potatoes are in the Solanaceae family, so you don't want to plant them where there was peppers, tomatoes, or eggplant for at least a year, or if you can, 3 to 4 years. And that's going to help lessen nutrient deficiency, soil-borne diseases, and pests. So, is there anything else I need to say about potatoes? I think we're pretty much got it. I think we're going to start burying our potatoes, and the next segment will be on how they're growing and how to harvest. Thanks for watching.